What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best greatsword and staff build in Throne and Liberty. So in this guide I will give you a quick overview of the setup. Then after that I will explain what skills and upgrades should you focus on. Then as well we'll see what is the best gear and how to get it for both the mid game and the full end game. And then finally we will go over the weapon masteries, stats, your skill rotations, and even what guardian should you use, so we would be able to get the highest damage possible and much more. This setup is focused around dealing quick bursts of damage, and thanks to skills like the serial fire bombs, we will do a lot of AoE damage, which will allow us to clear out a huge amount of open world mobs in few seconds, especially while we are completing contracts. Also, this build excels in DPS against bosses, because by using passives like the Vital Force, we will not only increase our damage but also boost our survivability at the same time. If you are looking for less of a meta build but with very strong and fun gameplay, then here it is. So let's move over to the setup. For the choice of weapons, we are going with the Greatsword and the staff, and first of all we have our skills. So for defensive skill we use the Iron Point parry, while for active skills we get the Precision Dash, Stunning Blow, Focused Fire Bombs, Guillotine Blade, Icebound Tom, Da Vinci's Courage, Frost Cleaving, Ascending Dash, Dead Blow, Judgment Lightning, Inferno Wave, and Chain Lightning. As you can see from the gameplay, I don't have all of the same skill icons on my bar. It is because the skill icons will change depending on our specialization setup. So serial fire bombs will turn into the focused fire bombs, then Gaia Crash will turn into the frost cleaving, and finally the basic dead blow will turn into the enhanced dead blow. Then for passives we want to go with Forbidden Sanctuary, Flame Condensation, Raging Frenzy, Victor's Morale, Robust Constitution, Vital Force, Barbarian Dash, and Cold Warrior. As for skill upgrade priority, for active skills we mainly want to focus on the Stunning Blow, Precision Dash, Gaia Crash, Judgment Lightning, Serial Fire Bombs, and Inferno Wave. While for passive skills we focus on the Vital Force, Raging Frenzy, Cold Warrior, Robust Constitution, and Forbidden Sanctuary. And then for the rest of your skills, they're not as important, so just upgrade them as you progress through the game. Also, remember to always upgrade all of your skills to blue first before moving on to the purple. Next we have skill specialization, and for Precision Dash get the bind and effect duration increase. Then for serial fire bombs get these three, so focused fire bombs, mobility, and radius increased. Then for Icebound Tom get the bind. Then for Gaia Crash get the frost cleaving and critical hit chance increase. Then for Dead Blow get these three, so charges damage, cooldown reduction, and damage increase. For Inferno Wave get the cooldown and burning. Then for Stunning Blow get the cooldown reduction, damage increase, and hit chance increase. Then for Guillotine Blade and Ascending Slash don't get anything. Then for Da Vinci's Courage get duration increased and instant healing. Then for Judgment Lightning get both of these damage transfers. And finally for the Chain Lightning get one more damage transfer. Next we have Weapon Mastery, and this is how it should look like for the Greatsword. So first of all take a look at the middle and get everything from the skilled Vitality up until the complete stun, and then now go to the bottom and get this entire row. And then again this is how it should look like for the staff. So very similar, at the start get the entire row, and then again go to the bottom and get everything from first mana regen node up until the ignition booster. Next let's take a look at our gear. And all of these items you can easily farm yourself, which means that I specifically found items that only require for you to grind specific spots and not use auction house or go to field bosses if you don't want to. And also, if you're looking for leveling or farming gear setup, then I recommend for you to watch my leveling guides, which are already up on the channel. So first off, we're using the Duke's Magnus Fury Warblade, with traits like the hit chance, heavy attack chance, and critical hit chance. All gear should be at its max level, and you can get it from the Butcher's Canyon. Next we have Staff of the Umbermancer, with the hit chance, heavy attack chance, and critical hit chance. You can get it by defeating the Avolo's Geomancer. Next we have Elusive Hexweaver Hat with magic evasion, melee evasion, and cooldown speed. You can get it by defeating NPC such as the Excavator 9 or the Worker Ant. Next we have Supreme Devotion with mana regen, skill damage resistance, and debuff duration. You can get it from the Cave of Destruction. Next we have Heroic Armor of the Resistance with max health, melee evasion and ranged evasion. You can get it by defeating the Galu archers. Next we have Gauntlets of the Field General with max health, ranged evasion and added attack speed. As we are using 2 pieces of the Imperator set, so you will get plus 150 heavy attack chance, and you can get it by defeating Aridus. Next we have Ruthless Enforcer Leggings with max mana, melee evasion and ranged evasion. You can get it from the Precious Blessing pouch. Next we have Sabotans of the Field General with melee evasion, ranged evasion and movement speed. You can get it by defeating the Dark Wizard or the Berserk Dark Enforcer in the Shadow Crypt. Next up we have the Clasp of the Conqueror with max health, skill damage boost and buff duration. You can get it by opening precious accessory chests. Next we have Braces of the Primal King with max health, skill damage resistance and debuff duration. You can get it from the Cave of Destruction. Next we have Violent Signet with max health, skill damage boost and buff duration. You can get it from the Cursed Wasteland. Next we have Amber Dimensional Band with max health, skill damage boost and buff duration. You can only get it from the Purple Armor chests. And finally we have the Belt of the Endless Slaughter with max health, skill damage resistance and debuff duration. You can get it by opening Purple Armor chests. Last but not least, if at this current moment you only have blue gear, then don't worry, because that gear doesn't really matter, and you will soon enough start changing it for the purple pieces. The setup that I showed is the best current gear that anyone can farm, but no matter what gear you choose, this build will still work fine. But this setup is just an example of what really good items with good traits will look like. Next up, let's take a look at our gear upgrades. This game doesn't have very typical gear progression, so by this I mean that you will have to upgrade pretty much anything you get. So you'll go from gray to green to blue and finally to purple. No matter at which stage of progression you're watching this video, just keep upgrading your equipment to their max level. And then when you get better gear, just transfer the experience from the old one to the new one. As for my gear recommendations, when you reach level 50, just farm accessible gear by doing open world dungeons. Also, you want to extract traits from gear for Lucent. On top of that, you will need to turn important purple gear that you don't use into lithographs, and then sell them on the auction house. Last but not least, for your traits just prioritize the ones that give you the highest damage. And don't forget that you can acquire new traits by using the trait unlock stone. Next up we have the stats, and depending on your gear you should adjust them accordingly. The goal for your endgame build is to reach 60 strength, 40 dexterity and 40 perception. For PVE you care mainly about maximum damage and survivability, so putting points into dexterity and strength is very important. Also, as our build has great buffs, so we will want to spend points into perception to buff up their duration. Next we have our Guardian choice, and this creature is a special transformation that can add offensive or defensive buffs to your character for 30 seconds. And for our build, the best option is the Shade Remnant Steno. This Guardian launches projectiles every second that can crit and heavy attack. And now finally we have come to the gameplay. And as our build is great at both ranged and melee, so I will give you 2 separate rotations. So first up we have our ranged rotation. We mainly want to use this to kill mobs with low HP, so we begin with the serial fire bombs but fully charge it, in order to maximize your burning stacks. Then next up we follow that up with the Inferno Wave for the extra damage and the burning stacks. And then lastly we finish it off with the Judgment Lightning for the highest DPS numbers. And don't forget that if you get lucky on the proc, then you can use it twice in a row and do twice as more damage. And then for the second and main melee DPS rotation, we start by using the Precision Dash, which as well we can use 2 times in a row to bind your target and boost your heavy attack chance, before we then use the Valiant Brawl, and then Ascending Slash, which will prone your target and deal DPS. So then afterwards we use the Icebound Tom to lock down our target and increase the damage, which we can do by using the Gaia Crash. Then after that we continue with the Stunning Blow and the Dead Blow for even more DPS. And then finally we finish it off with the Galatine Blade. And now from here we just rinse and repeat. Also, as a side note, our Icebound Tom skill is perfect for kiting bosses, as it has a low cooldown and a great bind, but it can be used both, so offensively and defensively, while it also can be paired up perfectly with something like the Gaia Crash. And finally, you want to use the Da Vinci's Courage as often as possible, so pretty much 24/7 no matter which rotation you use. As I've said in my other videos, This is one of, if not the best buff in the game. So if you want to boost your HP and DPS at the same time, and not only to yourself but the party, then keep using it forever. And that's about it. So if you enjoyed this video, click like, subscribe and comment. If you are interested in more content, check out my channel and I will see you in the next one. So take it easy, peace.